Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the latest album from Skee. Cool. So this is the second full-length album under this moniker for the electronic producer out of Germany, and he caught my attention back in 2018 with the release of his debut, Compro, a very cold and isolated mix of drum and bass, ambient music, and IDM. I really connected with the atmosphere that the record put out. It kind of left me feeling like I was that guy on the cover walking through a winter storm. He typically focuses on intricate drum patterns, but there was also just the right amount of ambient atmosphere layered in, so you can sort of tune out of Ski Mask's music and leave it in the background, or even if you're like hyper focused in on the tracks, they can be rewarding as well, I guess, if you're in a specific mood. Now, in contrast, Pool is a little bit more adventurous sonically, but also a lot less ambient. There are still many similarities between the two records, with those intricate drum patterns going on and the overall forlorn melodies that are looped in, but the pacing of this project is really what separates it from its predecessor. It is a little bit all over the place stylistically though, and kind of leaves it feeling like a singles compilation, so I imagine fans of this record are all going to land on different tracks as being their favorites. But right out of the gate, I was actually drawn right into the record with the opening track, which plays off like this subterranean breakbeat cut, and it sounds like a mixture of sounds that Aphex Twin was playing with on his Cyro record, but presented with a songwriting style of something that would have landed off of I Care Because You Do. And then there's the track LFO, which I'm guessing might be a nod to the IDM legends of the 90s. Overall, it's one of the more visual tracks on the album though, as it feels like I'm floating in space, fixing some broken power generator on a space station somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it really hits like that. And right in the middle of the track listing, we get this nice, like, ambient transitionary moment, starting with the track Ozone. There's this nice lead melody on this track that sounds really washed out and is like just floating over the mix. I mean, it almost sounds like the ghost of an electronic song. And that bleeds into the next track, Rio Dub, where things get even more dreamy and there's more instrumentation added in. I guess if I were to try the act of floating, maybe I would choose spots like this to be my soundtrack. Also, Testo BC mashup was a pretty big highlight on the LP for me. That's towards the end. The drum patterns on this one remind me of something that Prodigy would write, but it's mixed with these extremely bright alternating synth patterns that just give off a super psychedelic kaleidoscopic effect. And the track does go across a very interesting progression that just keeps you locked in. So I mean, overall, I thought this album was extremely enjoyable, even though it's definitely not the most mind-blowing electronic album I've come across. But if you're a fan of like 90s IDM and electronic music that has more of an ambient slant to it with general forlorn melodies looped in, then I think you're going to get a lot out of this project. And it's also really fun just to throw this on a rainy day and take a really long car ride and just enjoy the ride. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 7.5 over here on Pool. So this did actually get a release on vinyl on a triple LP, and I'm super bummed I missed it. It dropped on Ski Mask's Bandcamp, but I'm gonna have links down below to that Bandcamp because this isn't on streaming services just yet, so you can get your ears on it. And if you have listened to Pool already, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.